Welcome to Thelina. At some point in life, a person pauses and asks themselves, why am I here? This question often arises during a moment of crisis, after a loss, or in a time of deep transition. Because a passionate purpose is rarely found in achievement lists or to-do plans. It hides in a quieter place. To hear it, speed must slow down, noise must soften, and attention must turn inward. This series was not written to promise you a sudden transformation of your life. On the contrary, it gently invites you to remember a calling you already carry within. Because purpose is not something acquired from the outside, it is a direction recognized from within. The soul often knows where it longs to flow. Yet we silence this knowing with the voices of logic, fear, and habit. Over time, what we call passion can become nothing more than the desire for approval or the need for safety, disguised in more acceptable forms. In this series, we will build a bridge between spiritual awareness and real life. We will speak not only about feeling, but also about applying. We will adopt an approach that honors inner intuition without neglecting action. Alongside meditation, we will explore daily choices. Alongside awareness, we will take disciplined steps. Because true purpose is not merely an inspiration felt within, it is a direction consciously chosen again and again in life. Finding a passionate purpose does not always mean a grand vision or a magnificent goal. Sometimes it is protecting a subtlety others fail to notice. Sometimes it is transforming a wound with compassion. Sometimes it is offering the world a small but honest contribution. Whatever form it takes, true purpose brings aliveness. It creates an inner yes. Even in difficult moments, it does not allow the sense of meaning to disappear. On this journey, I ask you to be gentle with yourself. Move forward without rushing, without forcing, setting the intention not to become who you should be, but to recognize who you already are. This series is not a list of answers, it is a space to deepen through the right questions. And perhaps most importantly, remember this: finding a passionate purpose is not about reinventing yourself, it is about returning to yourself. Before we begin the video, if the Series 1 Create resonates with you and supports you, your presence helps this work reach more hearts. Your subscription, likes, and comments mean a great deal to me. Thank you in advance. Now, let us begin this new journey together. 1. Inner stillness. Hearing the true desire of the soul. A passionate purpose does not speak loudly. It does not shout, rush, or try to prove itself. Instead, it often whispers. That is why the one who wishes to hear it must first learn silence. In today's world, silence is not merely a physical state, it is almost a radical choice. The mind is constantly occupied, moving between to-do lists, others' expectations, social comparisons, and the persistent question, am I enough? Within such noise, the soul's true desire is easily suppressed without ever being noticed. Inner stillness does not mean the complete absence of thoughts. Rather, it is learning not to identify with them. Not every thought is a truth, not every desire belongs to you. A passionate purpose often calls from a place the mind does not find logical. Because the soul does not seek what is safe, it seeks what is alive. For this reason, the first step is to create space within, even more than in the outer world. From a spiritual perspective, inner stillness opens the door to intuition. Intuition is not a quick decision, but a state of deep knowing. To strengthen it, one must create conscious pauses each day, even if only briefly. Sitting for just 5 minutes away from the phone and external stimuli, focusing on the breath, and asking, "What am I feeling right now?" is enough. Over time, this practice teaches you to distinguish the voice of inner guidance from the voice of fear. Another method that can be applied in real life is the practice of silent writing. Take a notebook and write this sentence: "If no one were watching, what would I want to do?" While answering, do not think about aesthetics, logic, or outcomes. As you write, you will notice the mind quieting and words emerging from a more honest place. The goal here is not to find the right answer, but to make suppressed inclinations visible. Inner stillness also includes setting boundaries. Saying yes to every invitation, listening to every opinion, and carrying every expectation exhausts the soul. Sometimes silence is not about not speaking, it is about refusing unnecessary burdens. Noticing the habits in your daily life that drain you without adding meaning is a practical form of silence. Remember, a passionate purpose does not reveal itself through force. The more you quiet yourself, the clearer it becomes. Inner stillness is not an escape, it is the most honest beginning of finding your direction. 2. Letting go of false passions. Dreams that do not belong to you. The search for a passionate purpose often begins not by adding something new, but by releasing what is false. Without realizing it, a person can mistake other people's dreams for their own desires. Expectations inherited from family, society's definition of success, and the polished lives displayed on social media gradually create a borrowed sense of direction that replaces the inner voice. These false passions may seem motivating at first, yet deep down they leave a persistent feeling of exhaustion and meaninglessness. From a spiritual perspective, insisting on a path that does not belong to you is a loss of energy. The soul cannot remain for long in roles that are not its own. This is why, even when certain goals are achieved, a sense of fulfillment does not arrive. There remains a quiet feeling that there must be something else. This is not ingratitude, it is a sign of misalignment. True passion, even when challenging, creates an inner sense of expansion. What is false, on the other hand, constricts you, even alongside success. One of the most practical ways to distinguish false passions is to ask this question: do I truly want this, or was I taught that I should want it? You can ask this separately for your career, relationships, lifestyle, and even your personal growth goals. If you feel defensive while answering, there may be a burden there that does not belong to you. The soul does not defend itself, it carries a quiet clarity. As an actionable practice of letting go, I suggest listing the goals in your life. Next to each goal, write, "What do I believe I will feel when I reach this?" If the answer is approval, applause, or relief from fear, rather than peace, meaning, or aliveness, it is time to reassess that goal. Then, consciously place 3 goals that are not truly yours on hold. You do not have to abandon them immediately, simply choose to stop giving them your energy. Letting go of false passions can feel like a loss. When familiar identities are released, a sense of emptiness often appears. Yet this emptiness is necessary for a new direction to be born. A passionate purpose can only reveal itself when space is created. Letting go is not giving up, it is making room for yourself. In real life, supporting this process means setting small but clear boundaries. For example, you may consciously step away from content that constantly compares you to others. Choosing one day a week to avoid talking about goals and simply noting what you feel can also strengthen this inner space. And when the fear of failure arises, remind yourself of this sentence: "Is continuing a dream that does not belong to me truly a loss?" This question reveals that letting go is, in fact, an act of courage. As passions that do not belong to you begin to dissolve, a simpler, more honest, and more sustainable direction naturally emerges. Practicing patience during this process is a way of respecting the soul's timing. Because true purpose does not grow through haste, but through truth. And this truth, over time, brings lightness, inner coherence, and a deep sense of meaning into your life, drawing you closer to yourself as you move forward on a quiet, calm, and genuinely authentic path. 3. Signs within pain. Purpose often grows from the wound. People often begin searching for their purpose not in moments of happiness, but in the places where they struggle the most. Because pain deepens attention, it brings unseen emotions into awareness and draws suppressed questions to the surface. There is a truth frequently emphasized in spiritual teachings: the soul often marks the area where it wishes to grow through a wound. This is not the glorification of pain, but the recognition of the wisdom it carries. When you pay attention to the emotional patterns that repeat in your life, certain themes begin to appear: feelings of unworthiness, fear of abandonment, not being truly seen, or loss of control. These themes are not only traces of the past, they are also the sensitive points of your soul. And often, what a person tries to heal in others is something they first carry within themselves. At this point, purpose stops being a profession or a goal and becomes a direction of being. From a spiritual perspective, pain is a teacher, but it does not force its lessons. What turns it into a teacher is awareness. For this, I offer a simple yet powerful practice. Write down the 3 most challenging experiences that have deeply affected you. Under each one, add the question: what did this experience teach me? And then, how could this learning serve others today? The aim here is not to dramatize, but to notice the clues of meaning. Another practical step in real life is creating an emotional map. For 1 week, note the moments that trigger you the most. Write what you feel in those moments, where you feel it in your body, and what you need. Over time, you will notice something important. What you need is often what you are capable of offering to others. Compassion, safety, clarity, structure, space for expression, purpose often overlaps with these needs. There is an important distinction here. A purpose born from pain does not mean remaining inside the pain. On the contrary, it means transforming it. Your wound shapes you, but it does not limit you. When approached with awareness, it turns into empathy, depth, and authenticity. And this becomes one of the strongest roots of a passionate purpose. Remind yourself of this: you are not defined by what happened to you, but how you make meaning of it is deeply connected to who you are. Purpose is not about hiding the wound, it is about carrying it with wisdom. And very often, the most genuine passion quietly takes form right at this point of transformation. 4. Courage and discipline, the bridge that carries inspiration into life. A passionate purpose often begins with a moment of recognition, a subtle inner stirring, a sense of clarity, or a brief intuition that whispers, "This is it." Yet these moments alone are not enough. Inspiration ignites the fire, but discipline is what keeps it alive. Many people believe inspiration has faded, when in truth they have not yet met discipline. Because real purpose is not only something that is felt, it is something that is chosen again and again. From a spiritual perspective, discipline is not about forcing yourself, it is about remaining faithful to your soul. It does not mean imposing rigid rules. On the contrary, it is about honoring simple yet consistent actions that draw you closer to your purpose. Not working for hours every day, but taking one conscious step each day. Courage, meanwhile, is the ability to take those steps without a guarantee of outcomes. The soul does not follow what is safe, it follows what is true. The first practical method is the micro-step approach. Reduce what you want to do for your purpose to its smallest possible form. If you want to write, not a page, but 3 sentences. If you want to create change, not a large project, but a single conversation. These small steps soften the mind's resistance and make continuity possible. Discipline is not about bursts of willpower, it is about staying faithful to small promises. Another essential practice is forming a sacred relationship with time. At least twice a week, declare a block of time that serves your purpose as untouchable. This time may be short, but it should not be interrupted. It is like a silent message sent to the universe: this matters to me. In time, life begins to align with this seriousness. Courage is often not the absence of fear, but the ability to move alongside it. When fear arises, ask yourself this question: does not taking this step keep me safe, or does it make me smaller? This question clarifies the difference between avoidance and protection. Some fears protect us, others prevent us from growing. Being disciplined does not mean turning yourself into a machine. On the contrary, it means continuing the journey while accepting its ups and downs. Some days inspiration is absent, but intention remains. And it is precisely here that purpose becomes real. When courage and discipline come together, passion ceases to be an abstract feeling and becomes a direction that exists in real life. Not everyone crosses this bridge at the same pace, but everyone who crosses it moves a little closer to their own inner truth. 5. The consciousness of service. Purpose is fulfilled when it transcends the self. When a passionate purpose remains limited to the question, "What do I want?" it eventually begins to narrow. True depth emerges when this question slowly transforms into, "What can I offer?" This shift allows purpose to move beyond personal fulfillment and take on a wider meaning. Because the soul exists not only for itself, but also to connect, to contribute, and to leave a trace. From a spiritual perspective, service is not sacrifice or self-erasure. On the contrary, it is the natural sharing of your qualities, experiences, and awareness. This sharing does not arise from obligation, but from an inner sense of fullness. True purpose does not drain you, it nourishes you. What you offer to others deepens you as well. Stepping into service does not mean reaching large audiences. Sometimes it means truly touching a single person. Sometimes it means making a space safer, more honest, or more compassionate. Purpose is not measured by visibility, but by impact. And impact is often quiet. As a practical exercise, you can ask yourself these 3 questions. What do people most often say feels comforting or supportive about me? What have I learned through difficulty that could help others learn more gently? In which environments does my presence expand, and in which does it contract? The answers to these questions carry powerful clues about the service dimension of your purpose. What matters here is the ability to postpone the question, am I enough? Service does not wait for perfection. It begins with sincerity and matures over time. To nourish this awareness in everyday life, you can choose one conscious area of contribution each week. This might be sharing knowledge, listening deeply, offering support, or simply holding space. What matters is not treating it as a task, but as an intention. The intention, may my presence touch somewhere today, makes purpose tangible. In the end, you begin to realize this. A passionate purpose may start by centering on you, but it finds its true meaning when it transcends you. You expand in proportion to what you offer. And it is in this state of expansion that purpose takes root, quietly, steadily, and enduringly. Closing. Living the purpose. A path aligned with yourself. Finding a passionate purpose is not about sitting down one day and arriving at a definitive answer. This journey is less like a finished conclusion and more like a living relationship. Purpose changes form over time, it deepens as you grow. Sometimes it becomes clear, sometimes it blurs. Yet if you remain in touch with your soul, it never fully leaves you. Because true purpose walks alongside you. As you have seen throughout this series, purpose first asks for silence. Then it invites the unraveling of dreams that are not yours, an honest meeting with your wounds, the courage to take steps, and eventually a shift into a consciousness of service that transcends the self. This is not an easy path, but it is a truthful one. Because this path does not make you resemble others, it brings you closer to yourself. Perhaps there is still no clear answer. Perhaps you do not yet see a single direction you can say, this is it, about. This is not a lack. Sometimes purpose is a profession, sometimes a way of being, sometimes simply how you move through life. Living more slowly, more honestly, more compassionately can itself be a purpose. What matters is inner coherence, the narrowing of the distance between what you feel and how you live. In real life, remember this, your purpose does not have to motivate you every single day. Some days it simply accompanies you. On other days, it tests you. In those moments, you can ask yourself this question: does staying on this path make me feel more alive, or is it only habit? This question helps you recalibrate your direction again and again. Finding a passionate purpose is not an effort to prove yourself. So you are not late. You have not gone the wrong way. Every experience may have helped you become a little simpler, a little clearer. And a simplified soul sees more easily what it wishes to serve. Now you know, Purpose is not completed through external approval. It is lived each day through small choices, through quiet devotion, honesty with yourself, and without haste. If there is one thing you carry with you from this series, let it be this: a passionate purpose is not a goal that takes you away from yourself, it is a sense of direction that brings you back home. And that direction already lives within you. Remember, life is whispering to you. When you dare to listen to your heart, paths begin to open. Until our next meeting, stay with light in your heart. I am Thelina, a fellow traveler walking the same sky, moving toward the same dream, alongside you.